Jay Anderson, class of '85, and his good friend and coach, Stan Skjei. Jay, I know you got a lot of stories about this gentleman to your right that you can tell, but obviously you're one of the players that were part of a prep bowl team. Your junior year has to be a big accomplishment to get that far.
Yeah, it sure was fun, and we were telling some stories beforehand, but it's not easy to get to the prep bowl, and it takes guys like this and coaching staffs that have the continuity to get there and put the plans together. So we just go out and do what they tell us to do. It's pretty easy that way.
Josh, the guy next to me, made me look like a good coach.
Oh, he's too kind. Too kind.
Another coach that was influential on you, Bruno Waldner.
Yeah. Coach Bruno. So I'll tell you a quick story on this one if it's okay. And so I don't know if you remember this or not.
Probably.
So Bruno, put it this way: Stan knew the offense. He knew the wing tee. Bruno acted like he knew the wing tee. Let's just say that.
He did.
Right?
Yep.
And so there was, I can't remember which game it was, second game of the season. I think it's the only game we lost. And, other than the prep bowl, but Bruno pulls me over and goes, "Hey, we're going to run a hook and ladder." And I think we've practiced it a couple times in practice. And he says, "Okay, go," I think it was Roger, whatever, 29 or whatever it is, right? And he says, and I go, "Coach, who do you want to carry the ball?" And he goes, "Well, Carnell." And I go, "Well, it's got to be Louis then." He goes, "Just go do it." And so if you remember that one at all. So yeah, that's Bruno. But yeah, talking about leadership and just being able to get as much out of the players as they can. And I got to tell you about Stan. So I know his son really well, and he's helped us buy and sell houses and things like that. But kid you not, okay, I'm not saying this to pump your tires. I kind of am, but I'm not getting anything out of this. Is when you look at somebody you want to model your coaching and just your attitude around, it's Stan Skjei. Because I'll never forget, we were St. Louis Park, and it was a wet day, and we had to win that game to get to the playoffs. Remember? Right?
Yeah, a miracle play in the end zone.
Yeah. Danny Grant made a diving catch in the end zone, and I'll never forget, the play was called. I think it was a flare. I think Eddie Rosinski
like
probably.
30-15 at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Should have never worked.
Yeah, it shouldn't have. And I think we were either offsides or there was a fumble or something happened. And Eddie, I think it was Eddie on the right wing, was open on the left side. And then I was like, dang it. So we had to run the play again. Well, lo and behold, it's a couple of fake handoffs. I look and he's covered. But before that, I don't know if I ever told you this, I looked at Danny, and Danny gave me that little look like, hey, I could be open, right? I mean, Danny Grant had the best hands of any receiver I've ever played with, right? I mean, the catch he made in the prep bowl on the sidelines, and I mean, you can go on and on. But anyhow, he gave me that look, and I was like, okay. So I was dead in the water. We were dead in the water. Eddie was covered, and sure enough, I threw it, and Danny made a great catch, and I just threw it to an area. And he got it, but yeah, that was a fun one. So, but when you get to play with guys like this, or four guys like Stan and Bruno and Bianchi and Milharic and Birdie,
you're doing this just the way I wrote it.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I better check my notes here just to make sure. But we've kept in touch over the years and through family and things like that. So yeah, that's good stuff.
You may not have appreciated it at the time, Jay, but when you look back all these years later, to have the number of coaches and the acumen of the coaches that were on the Jefferson staff during those times in the 80s, how fortunate do you feel like you were?
Oh, extremely fortunate. I mean, not only great individuals with great character, they do the right things, they say the right things. If I had a chance to, so my son's 25, almost 26 now. If I had a chance to say, hey, these are the guys I want you to study as leaders and to become men like that, it would be this coaching staff. And that, without a doubt. And I truly mean that, because I know you for many, many years. And that's why I made him come into this interview with me, so I could actually give you some kudos. But I mean, it's...
You're paying me.
Yeah, I got that, right? But I got to check the script. But yeah, in all honesty, there was... you can't say enough. And one thing about a coach, right? I'm sure other people have coached. I've coached my son, other people's sons, and whatever you say, anything you say, it's going to come back, right? In other words, you got to be careful what you say and how you say it, because depending on that day, you don't know what they're going to hear. And to this day, I've never had a bad feeling about any of my high school football career because of the way the coaching staff handled themselves, and they were just class people.
Stan, what made you and Bruno such a dynamic duo for Jefferson at the same time?
We met at Kennedy. We were both assistants at Kennedy, and Bruno was just a great kid. A unique ability to have discipline and fun at the same time on a team. And so we just spent a lot of time together. Our families were together, and it was fun coaching with him. There was never a dull moment. He made it fun for the kids, and good things happen when you do that.
When you see and hear a former player sitting right next to you say such strong words about yourself and the Jaguar coaches, what does that mean to you?
Well, my high school coach, I would have said the same thing about him. I mean, he just was a big guy in my life. And it's nice of Jay to say that. And we had I know we had a great relationship all the way through school. It was fun. And it's great to hear.
Bruno seemed like a guy that would take risks and kind of do anything at the drop of a hat. Coach, is that something that you took from him? Because in some of the bigger moments in your coaching career, it seemed like you took some of those same risks yourself.
Probably. I mean, we spent a lot of time together and had this kind of the same philosophy. And, there's a time you got to take a risk, time you don't. But I just have great memories of being with Bruno and coaching with him, like all our players do.
What do you remember about Jay from back in the day?
Made all the plays in the world and was a great leader. Good thrower, knew the offense. I mean, he was like coach on the field. It was easy. And we were kind of on the same page.
Yeah, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the state championship game a little bit. Talk about some memories about that and how the game went and all that stuff. I think that'd be awesome to hear from you two.
Coon Rapids, right?
Yep.
Okay.
35-34.
Might have been 35 or 34-31.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, I mean,
Take us through that game.
Yeah. So the state, first of all, the prep bowl is fantastic, right? And so we just kind of leading up to it. Gosh, I'll never forget this. And these are things as coaches you never know, right? But I said you never know what you say people might remember, right? And this is good. I wouldn't embarrass you. No way. So we would practice in the Vikings Dome at the time. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Because Danny's Bud Grant, right? So Danny's dad allowed us to do that, and so on and so forth. And so I'll never forget it. There wasn't a word being spoken. It was call the play. I relayed the play. We ran the play, just like a machine. You remember this? And
Yes.
And I think you said something like this. And if you remember it differently, I'll go by what you say. But it was Stan says, I just think we're ready. There's no more we can do. Something in regards to that. Remember? It was something like that.
It wasn't earth-shattering.
Yeah. And but it was so businesslike. So that's the lead up, right? And then the game was played on a Saturday, I think, right? So you normally have to remember that Fridays are your game days, right? So you do things on Friday. We had to wait a day. So that was a little bit different. But so then you get to the game, and I cannot believe just in the corner, sort of in the northeast corner. I remember John Williams, the center, right? Fantastic center. We can talk about his fumble recovery and turn and all that return, but anyhow, I'll never forget. He said, he goes, "You're gonna have to call it louder. You call the signals louder." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm yelling as loud as I can." So that's really interesting when you have a high school football game, and then you really don't do anything with a silent count, right? And back then, I mean, we didn't even know what that was. But so that was one thing I remember, that it was just so loud and the excitement was there. So Danny, I referenced before that Danny Grant made this unbelievable catch, and it was Eddie threw the ball right on a halfback option pass. I think it got called back, but he made a one-handed catch. And if you guys go back and ever see video, it's fantastic. And I don't think we got the yardage out of it because we were offsides or whatever it was. anyhow, so long story short, nobody could stop anybody defensively. And that's why it was 34-31 or whatever that score was. And we had the ball 4th and 9 on the 9-yard line with a minute to go, something in regards to that. And again, I don't know if you remember this or not.
Yes,
but,
I'm sure I do.
So Bruno, we called timeout, and Bruno's in the sidelines, and I'm like, Bruno is actually wiggle solid. I said, we got to go wiggle solid, because basically all that is a lot of misdirection, but the tight end goes to the corner, so it allows a lot of flexibility of a run or thrown over the top, or you get somebody dragging across the side. So there's just a lot of options. 4th and 9, you can create a lot of time. And so you and Bruno were talking about something, and he goes, Skjei, Andy wants wants solid. And then he goes, all right, go do it. So that's what we went and did. And unfortunately, we had a little mishap. They blitzed, and it was kind of a desperation. But never forget just the interactions, of how calm Stan is, not only here, but he was that way in whatever pressure situation. And so, yeah, but
when you mentioned John Williams, this is something that should be said. He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
And going into his senior year, we were short a little bit on our offensive line. He agreed to go from tight end, which is not a glamour position, but more willing or where we'd want to play than at center. He agreed to go to center with Richburg, and that kind of solidified our offensive line and made us a good team.
Yeah, for sure. And he actually had the fumble recovery in St. Louis Park, which gave us why they ran that play, I have never idea. They did this fake pitch in the rain. Fake pitch, the ball slips out. And that's how we got the ball back, but John recovered that. So, I mean, John did so many things, just a fantastic athlete. And, there's just so many good athletes on that team.
Right.
But it was so much fun to play. And, we came up short, but, some people might say the game's still going on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So desperation, once we got the ball back, ball got picked off, their defensive safety throws the ball, spikes the ball down. And here goes, I think it was John Williams, as a matter of fact, running after that ball. And their coach comes up, picks up the ball. Game over. So, so
Questionable call.
Nobody said anything about it. And
Came onto the field.
it was 10 feet on. It came and got it. Yeah. So
Jay, I was at that game, and that's my one big memory from that game is I watched it, and I watched the D-back get rid of the ball. I'm like, that's a live ball.
Sure was.
It's a ball.
Yeah.
And I that's been in my head
Yeah.
since that moment of what happened.
Yeah.
Why didn't Jefferson go get the ball?
Yeah.
You mentioned that the other
I
night.
did, because I don't remember a lot of the plays from that game,
Yeah.
except that one. I'm like, the game's not over.
Yeah. Game's not over.
Did you think at the time that, hey, we could go pick up this ball, or were you so dejected at the interception that you felt like the game
John was the only one on board with that. He was gone, he was gone going, and I saw him going. It didn't click with me until I saw him go. So, but that's his football IQ. Fantastic.
How do you think that play would be handled in today's age with instant replay and reviews? Do you think it would have still ended that way, or do you think you would have maybe had a chance to continue the game at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Things are so much different now.
Yeah.
Josh, who knows?
Yeah. We had to blow up our own football. So, I mean, it was, it was, but anyhow, that's, those are some memories. I mean, there's so many of the prep bowl, but, it's just fun. And, you don't think about it. At least I don't, right? And then all of a sudden you come to this and you start going, oh yeah. And, you get to relive that with all your ex-players, which is fantastic. So, little sidebar here. So when I went to college, I played baseball. I got hurt my senior year, so I went to play baseball. But I got to come back and help Stan and the staff and scout and just kind of hang out together. And and that was really a lot of fun. And I got to see things from the other side of it, and that helped me just become a better person, better leader. Just emulating what they do. So a lot of players come back and can help out coach and stuff. So, yeah.